peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, Africa. Good morning, wherever you are across the continent of Africa. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa television broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center. This morning, we shall do things differently. We shall start with the news headlines of Kenyan newspapers, what is making news in Kenya, and we look at the political campaigns, the politics of Kenya. Then we shall move over across to, at the top of the hour, we shall come to the devolution conference that is taking place in Kenya. We shall also touch this morning in the first hour news about Africa, what is happening on briefly about African continent. With me is a full house panel, a panel of Sharon Gitonga of the Legacy Trend. Good morning, Sharon Gitonga.
Thank you very much, Dr. Matanga, and a very good morning to you right at the Political Command Center, and to my colleague panelists, Samuel Tawish and Daniel Wesonga, and to all our viewers watching us, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening. It is a pleasure to be part of this show. Good morning.
Good morning, Sharon Gitonga. Good morning, Punchline Man, Radio Punchline Africa, Daniel Wesonga. Good morning.
Yes, a very, very good morning, Dr. Matsanga David, at our Political Command Center. Good morning to my sister Sharon Gitonga, my brother Tawish Olesasina, our viewers here in Kenya, Africa, and the rest of the globe who are watching us at this hour.
Thank you very much. Across the bridge in Narok, live from Narok District County, is none other than the Legacy Trend man himself, investigative special assignment editor of Punchline Africa TV of Legacy Trend, Tawish Olesasana. Good morning.
Very good morning to you, Dr. Masanga, at the Political Command Center. Good morning to my colleague panelist, Sharon Gitonga, Sean Wesonga, and of course all our viewers watching this program in Africa and the rest of the world. My pleasure to join you on this program. Good morning, Dr.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Let's go straight to the news headlines in Africa, in Kenya. What is going on in Kenya? The Star newspaper says Kenyatta suddenly calls off Jubilee NDC. I think they should have said Jubilee Party calls off NDC, because the decision must have been made by the entire party, not His Excellency the President of Republic of Kenya, who called it off, but it must be the decision by the Jubilee Party executive and other people called stakeholders. This headline is misleading, but we leave it up to that, whether the conference will take place or not, but one day it has to take place, because one day it has to take place somehow, somewhere. The ruling party planned to kick out some members, seal deal with ODM. I don't know about that. I have no details. Maybe one of you has details of that. Then on the front page, Raila gains in West Pokot and makes, and as as West Pokot leaders of the new party that has actually broken away from William Ruto, he makes a stand. West Pokot goes for Raila Amolo Odinga. This is a very big boost. The governor and his people, former Tiati MP, Kamama and others, Pogisho, you know, Ruto is not going to have a smooth run throughout that place. There will be, some people will take off some of the supporters, apparently his supporters. Michael Waikenda always writes, but I don't see what he writes, because he's just a parroting and picking other things. These are the people who have not helped us at all. They have not helped His Excellency the President to shape his legacy. But we leave it to that. Rights and rights. Always writes things, recycles things that everybody knows after picking from people who have researched. It's rubbish. That there's nothing there that I can even talk about. Now, Nancy charged with beating 3-year-old for refusing to sleep. How do you beat a 3-year-old? That's the Star newspaper. Inside the Daily Nation, inside the Daily Nation inside Raila and Ruto plot to block defectors. Party hope defectors who hope from one party to another definitely will have very rough time. But are there parties in Kenya, surely? Or we have vehicles of elections? Do we have parties? The panel will tell me. Do we have parties in Kenya, apart from ODM that are stuck to its ground? But the rest of the parties keep on shifting. Each election year, there are new parties formed. In fact, Kenya forms more parties. The citizens form more parties than any other state in Africa. But are they parties that can make an ideology that can deliver the people of Kenya from the bondage of governance, from the bondage of economic, uncertainty, social uncertainty, parties that have manifesto. But when can you have a good party when you have a bad judiciary? The Daily Nation talks about that. The Daily Nation talks about the governors' conference today, climate change to headline governors' devolution summit. I wish instead of going for that conference, the governors told their natives to start planting trees. It would have been very good for this country. Speaking and rhetoric is what I told you when I was in London. And I gave a pre-COVID, a pre-COP26 conference. My stand was very clear. I told you exactly. Tell me what did they achieve? We are spectators in a global world. Therefore, let's just tell our people the truth. Start planting trees. This conference it's just waste of more money. If you look at the preparations, and they are going there to discuss politics. And perhaps that's why His Excellency the President did not take it as a matter of priority and went to do other things in South Africa, which are meaningful by bringing some more bilateral contracts and investment into Kenya than to speak from morning. Some people, like the Deputy President, is going there with bravado to show that he has now conquered the whole Kenyans. All of them believe in his stupid theory of bottom-up economy, which I have never heard of. I have read books of Max Weber, Adam Smith. Most of them were very big thinkers, think more organized better than this man called David Ndii, the stupid David Ndii. I have never seen anything of a bottom-up situation. You can't do a bottom-up if you have not killed corrupt people. And if you are to kill more corrupt people, where will you find them in the pattern? Kenya. Okay. Let's move on. What women do in search of fuller and shapely bodies. I don't want to discuss that. Maybe Sharon will tell us more why women always change their bodies, cut them to size, change this plastic surgery. One of the things that I'm very, very upset with is women who usually wear wig and wear artificial things on their heads. I am very scary whenever such situation happens. But here we are, the world is changing. African women used to cut their hair. They have, I am not being a bad man against ladies this morning, but plait their hair African way. But this thing of carrying 10 tons of hair on your head, which you take it to the dry cleaner, it was also not cost effective. Surely it is more cost effective if you plaited your hair. Sharon, I think you'd tell us more that when you plait your hair. Sharon, are you there? Sharon, are you there? If you plaited your hair very nicely, nice, don't you look nice? But you carry a ton like Mrs. Paul Biya, the dictator of Cameroon. The wife's hair is $1 million. Did you know that? $1 million. And she services it as is. It is. Do you know what? A car. It is taken to the garage. It is taken to the dry cleaner. What type of expenses do you get when you are taking hair to the dry cleaner? Sharon.
Being a woman, I don't want to speak any negative. And because I believe, I have a different stand from you, because I believe everyone has a right to look, however, in whichever way that actually makes them feel, makes them feel good. Yeah, when you talk about, the wigs, it's the same way as of, we all do, most women are makeup and, we just want to feel, makes you feel different. It makes you feel, a different way on how you actually express yourself. So I believe, when you talk about how people want to look, and again, looking at, especially mostly even for the celebrities, there's quite a pressure, so much pressure for you to actually look a certain way. Being light, that is another whole issue of people want to look a certain way. They equate their lightness of being money. I've gotten to different places where you're actually given priority because of your skin. So if you see such kind of pressures, everyone wants to equate themselves to trying to look light and trying to look a certain way. But in terms of I think personally, I'm against, the surgeries and everything, because I believe, everyone should just appreciate, the natural. That is how God created you. Yeah, but in terms of, all these others, the wigs and, the makeup, that is a whole different ball game, which, different women actually use it to, express themselves. They feel like they can be able to express themselves more when they actually look, appealing. Yeah, thank you.
Let me ask you one question. You are saying you are not against. There's nobody talking negatively here. We are just stating facts. And perhaps let me allow some other men to come in first. Tawish Olesisana, before I come to to summarize exactly. Tawish, what do you think?
Well, actually, I think to some extent,
time is going, Baba.
Well, to some extent, I may not really be the authority to speak on these matters, but I can quite tell you that
you fear Madam might lock you out of the house.
I don't quite find anything weird with women, for example, making sure that maybe their hair looks so good, that their faces or their body looks so good because they put up the makeup. The only thing is that this must not be done with some level of exaggeration, because again, when you exaggerate these makeups, then it doesn't come out well, especially because, like Sharon has said, they want to look more attractive because in the first place, they look attractive. Women naturally look attractive. So when they put up these makeups, they make sure that their hair looks so good, then they become more attractive. And I think this is something that has been there from time immemorial. It is something that it's widely now accepted in the society. And when women don't put up makeup, they feel like there's something that they're missing completely. In fact, some of them feel like they're almost naked. So I think it's something that we just need but to cope up with.
Wesonga, bring in your comments.
Yes, Dr. Matsanga, and of course, my sentiments come close to what Wisha said. We have people, women who prefer to put on makeup just to advance their self-confidence. But I'll go to some time back where President Yoweri Museveni trashed these beauty contesters who put on wigs in an African setting. You know, it is not quite right. It's not actually our thing. And I remember during the time of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in America, actually it was perceived that people who could fry their hair, people who could try to look white and do all those kind of things, putting on makeup, were perceived to be of low self-esteem. So to me, I think in as much as everyone is at their own right to put makeup, exaggerate their hairs and all that, I think it only brings a perception of their own character, you know. So to me, there are people who lack confidence, and there are people perhaps who do not believe that an African woman can be beautiful without maybe doing such things. But it all depends, Dr. Matsanga, because perhaps even my wife puts on makeup when she's going for a special occasion, or maybe for someone to appear on TV, they have to do so. But we do have, I do not disagree that we do have those who exaggerate it and it comes out badly.
Okay.
Before, I think makeup, when you talk about makeup, it's just the same way you have to look the part. You cannot tell me you can, appear on a national television or in such a platform when you're just looking raggedy. So it's still the same way that you're actually looking the part. It's still the same way for women. For a man, you have to, look the part. You have to make sure your hair is neat. So it's still the same way for women when it comes to makeup. It just oozes, some certain confidence. Yeah.
So 3 against 1. Can I come in now here with the devastating blow? 1. Was there makeup before here in Africa? No. But were Africans not beautiful? They were. Natural color, natural beauty, African woman. But that is a subject I think we shall take for a long time. And the legacy trade Sharon Gitonga. Look at it in Social Africa later on this afternoon if you have time. It would be very nice for you, for us to be told what is different, what changes. If a woman buys a wig of $1 million and the rest of the country, people in Cameroon are dying, $1 million. Servicing the wig alone, Mrs. Paul Biya, First Lady of Cameroon, it costs $1 million, almost $10,000 to $20,000 per month, which would build how many clinics? Let's come back home. The lady crying for help, for rent, for food, has hair which costs about 40,000 shillings on the head. Honestly. And she's asking you to give her 20,000 shillings for rent. And after that, she said she wants to top up, to buy hair. What is the priority here? I know all of you, like the newly married people, all of you, you don't want to come in like a man. You don't want to come in. You don't see the pain. Tawish and Daniel, you don't see the pain. You won't say anything here. Yes. But for me, I've been married for 46 years. And I always tell my wife, the priorities come first. I'm sorry. If I don't have the money for you to go and engage in your saloon, I don't have, let's cut it. Is it the time for us in Africa to say so? And say so and walk out free? Not to be enslaved because there is so and so has hair, which costs. A model on TV has hair which costs about 400,000 shillings. What for? When there is no food, when there is no medicine, when there is children need to go to school. It is like, it's a long topic, but let's leave it there. Since most of the men here, I'm the only boy child who defends this other side. They have ganged up with Sharon, defeated me on this argument. Let's leave it there. But for me,
we do not want to put our lives in jeopardy over here.
Let's come back to the final paper story, then we do an analysis. Mystery of it touches with the same what I was talking here. In fact, what I was developing here comes on the Standard newspaper. The mystery girl with 100 million gift. There are people who are condemning the government for looking for this money. Surely, a girl of 22 years, you have 100 million shillings. Sharon Gitonga, I don't think even you can sleep properly. Yourself, beginning from where you are, 100 million shillings on account. You need psychological counseling. First of all, this gentleman, he can be rich in Belgium. He can be rich, but in Belgium, to earn 1 million of even a rotary, there is no government in Britain, in Europe, that can give you a rotary check without taking you through a lot of lessons. Because $10 million of rotary won by an individual, you can buy arms and kill people. The government looks at all aspects of humanity. How does a human being operate? If you win a lottery of 100 million shillings, pounds, you are closer, you are already a millionaire in Britain. You can buy a building. You can buy mercenaries to come and kill people. They must sit you down, even if it is your money. Go through with so many lessons of counseling. A girl of 22 years old, a man comes from Belgium and just gives you 100 million. Are you a slave? Have you been bought? I leave the topic for you. It is on the Standard newspaper. And this is why we need this section when we are dealing with Kenyan papers. Let's not only deal with politics. Let's also teach morality. Let's also see what the government has done. I believe the government has tried. The government asset recovery agencies have a right to stop money laundering. Was the money got very properly? Who is this guy? This guy could be a mercenary. who has sold diamonds from a place where there is war, because Belgium in Antwerp, you can sell diamonds and come and deposit. So the track record of the man depositing 100 million shillings in an account in Kenya, a red flag was raised by the bankers. There is nothing wrong with that. What say you? What say you, Sharon? Today we shall begin with you because you are the only lady on the panel.
Thank you for that question. And I think for me, I also have, quite some mixed reactions about, this whole issue and how it has actually been paraded. And something that actually came to my mind is how I would wish that, the same kind of zeal that we're actually seeing the asset recovery, agencies and other agencies actually coming after these people, it could actually be the same. It would be channeled, towards bringing the looters and these merchants of impunity that have continuously looted public funds, and we're talking about billions of money without anything actually being taken upon them. Because for me, at some point I even was wondering, okay, so these are actually the asset recovery agencies still exist until this issue came up, but given that we live in a period of in a times where money laundering, talk about proceeds of crime, talk about terrorism actually exists. So I believe it is actually whatever that they're actually trying to do is is not something that can actually be questioned, and I believe even with the bank, there's always a policy. If you actually, deposit any money that actually is more than $1 million, they require you to actually, give the source of your money. And I believe that is where, this couple, I don't know if they're a couple or they're just in partnership, they went wrong. And I think the man has come outrightly to actually say that the money was actually given as a gift for the lady for having actually agreed to, give birth. I don't know, in Kenya, or rather in this 21st century, for any woman who has given birth, there's something that they call a push gift. So this is, for me, I don't want to judge as yet, because I believe this is a matter that is, investigations are ongoing. But if it is true that, the man just gifted the lady as a push gift, so I believe, there's no really need to, really go after this young couple, and maybe we just let them, we just let the woman enjoy her push gift. She's agreed to go ahead and give birth. It's not an easy journey. So I believe, like I've said, I've put a disclaimer. If it is true of what, the man has said, it was just a gift, which I call a push gift, because that is the word that, we use. So if it is actually true, let's stop crucifying this lady and this couple for once. But if not, I believe investigations are ongoing, then let's wait and see what actually transpires out of this. Thank you.
Okay. Tawish.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ari. I am not necessarily persuaded by the sentiment made by my colleague panelist Sharon Gitonga in as far as this matter is concerned. Gift or whatever it is, this I suppose is so extreme. Some people will want to judge and say maybe some men are jealousy or some ladies are jealousy, or rather they are jealous because of this the gift, as they put it, as to why this lady actually got this money. I do not, because one thing that Sharon is speaking about, the push gift is like, if you are to really justify it, that it's given to a lady who has given birth. But in this case, this is, I think, a college girl, and there's no history that she's given birth, at least not to this, of course, Belgian friend.
There are photos that are actually circulating of her carrying the baby. So that is how that is where I derived this.
I think the babies are for another African lady. It's not for this girl.
It is the gentleman. The gentleman is, I think, is married and has a baby.
Another African lady.
Yes, but not specifically the one in reference.
The woman has no child. I don't know. That is the way the woman has no child.
So, but whatever case may be, I think the reason why there's so much interest, especially coming from the authorities right here in Kenya, is because we will want really to get the source of this money. We will want to understand why this money was first of all wired into that account. Because again, we cannot just allow monies to flow in unregulated, and I think that is why the government is moving in to get to understand why exactly this money came into and for what purpose. And they have just they have christened it as a gift. You want to really understand what kind of a gift is it all about. It could be that maybe there are other things that are hidden. There's a hidden agenda behind all this money, but because now it is come to the public domain, they have to just refer to it as a gift, because I haven't ever heard of such kind of a thing ever happening in this country. I remember the last time even a lady tried to give a gift to a man was when was it Nyamai taking the husband during the Valentine to a hotel in Nairobi, expensive, to the presidential suite. I remember, and it was all over really in the social media and such kind of things. Nobody really is denying the fact that we need to appreciate our loved ones, especially our spouses or people we love, be it our friends, girlfriends or boyfriends. But this is so much of extreme to a point that government is really justified to move and get to understand really the gist of it all. If at all, if it is just a normal gift that a boyfriend or a couple or a spouse is giving to the other, then maybe times are changing, and maybe we will need to do a new thing altogether as men outside here, because that's a very big challenge if that remains as a gift really. But the authorities are justified to carry out investigation to get to the bottom of it all. Dr. I submit.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm coming to give my verdict. Daniel Wesonga.
Yes, thank you so much. And of course, I've been one of the people who have been following this particular story quite closely, being that perhaps I have some knowledge about financial markets and all that. So according to this guy, he says that whatever money he got, he's actually a billionaire of sorts. And he said that he trades in cryptocurrencies. So you have to understand that cryptocurrencies came into the limelight at around 2013 up to 2017. And then now towards 2020, 2021, then we had an avalanche of information and stories, euphoria coming out into the market. So cryptocurrency uses a technology, what we call a blockchain. A blockchain is a technology just like what Visa card uses, to process payments. And unlike maybe Visa card, which is a bit strict and maybe protects data, cryptocurrency is transparent. But on the end of the person who is doing transactions, it's a bit synonymous. It doesn't show the records of people who are doing the transaction. So you realize that in as much as we've been having success stories about cryptocurrencies, criminals like cryptocurrencies, and so I was reading some reports about FBI and in regards to terror groups and drug cartels, and it indicated that these criminal syndicates turned away from using the conventional money and actually are transacting through cryptocurrencies. And of course, cryptocurrencies, just like a lot of new technologies, some of the first adopters have been criminal enterprises, like I say. They use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin both as payment because of the privacy it provides under the target holders of Bitcoin. It actually becomes a target holders of Bitcoin for scams. For example, you see some criminal syndicates such as consumers of Silk Road. That is a black market online shopping network for illegal drugs and other illicit services that was shut down by the FBI in 2013. Those were people who were using Bitcoin. And in the recent ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline, the company paid $1.4 million in cryptocurrency to unlock its computers. So these are cases where hackers actually take a website or a database of an entire company and they take them at a ransom. They tell them you have to pay this amount of money before we release your website. So this company comes in, pays so much money, over $4.4 million. That's a lot of a big amount of money. So when this money is paid, the hijackers of the websites actually claim that you pay as in Bitcoins. So you realize that Bitcoin becomes a medium of benefiting from illicit trades. So meanwhile, when you read the FBI reports, it shows that Bitcoin investment scams have skyrocketed in tandem with the recent historic rise. You know, people hear about Bitcoin doing this, Bitcoin doing that. So the scams also come in equal measure. And the Federal Trade Commission reported of about 7,000 people losing over $80,000 million. That was last year alone. And this year, the scams have actually grown by 1,000%. And of course, those are losses where people have lost money, either companies that are being hacked and they are requesting for ransom to be paid in Bitcoin and all that. So in as much as we do have people who are doing legit business in trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, we also have criminals who are hiding to get money from selling drugs, to actually transmit money meant for sponsoring terror activities, and also for taking ransom after wreaking havoc on blue chip companies' websites and taking away data, stealing data, espionage. So you realize that it becomes a haven for thieves and those who are willing to indulge in criminal activities without being noticed. So to me, I think it is good that the authorities have to confirm, really. You have to confirm to them beyond reasonable doubt that if you are saying you traded in Bitcoin, then show them the records, show them your account. We know how Bitcoin is traded. We know the wallet accounts and all that. History is always, or even the brokerage or maybe the platform that you are trading on should be able to give you a statement of how you've been making this money. Otherwise, if it is not, it is more likely that this money is from an illicit trade that happens on internet. Doc, you're muted.
Yes, thank you very much, Wesonga. For me, east or west, north or south, the Asset Recovery Agency has a right as a government institution to look into any suspicious, whether small or big, whether woman black or white, whether a man is Her Majesty the brother of so and so, or rich, or where, they have a right. That is the law. That is the law. They can come at your door and have a right to question you. They can go on your account and have a right to question. One of the problems that we people in Africa have, if to have this, there's a fair issue. Yo namna hivyo tu wanakujanga namna hivyo. Where are they? Where have they been? All of you, Sharon was saying, you were shocked that they have not been there. Are you not a Kenyan that you know there's there is an agency there?
I meant they are there, but they've not been in action. They've not put in so much.
Of course, they can't show themselves in action. You run away and hide the money. How can they? No, Sharon, surely look at me. How can they go away telling themselves that I am coming? No.
No, but we've not had them actually going after the likes of Anway Guru.
The asset people like Anway Guru and others, you wait. Mm-hmm. You know, the recovery agency is coming when people are going to clear themselves for these selective posts. It is not yet over until it is over. I'm telling you, you are going to present yourself as a presidential candidate. If you have not cleaned yourself completely, you might not see that ballot paper. You might not appear on the ballot paper. Yes, there are things working. People stopped BBI, they thought it was the only one that was an impediment. But there are so many. There are so many things. And the agency works to stop. Look, you cannot go to Belgium And now I want to turn the coin upside, turn it this way, so that we Africans understand ourselves. You cannot go to Belgium, Matsanga, with 200 million or even 50,000 pounds only, or euros, and look for a very beautiful Belgian woman, strong, tall, and they say, come to the club, come here, and you become a friend in a week. And then after 2 weeks, you come back and give her 100,000 euros. Where will she bank it? I'm asking you. I'm asking all of you, where will she bank it? She can't bank that money in, unless she will keep that money in the mattress, in the house, and be taking out euros, and buy. But to go to the bank, Sharon, to go to the bank with 100,000 euros in Belgium, the bank manager will call you, give you coffee, while you are seated in the bank manager's office. I'm telling you, police will be coming, and they will come and say, sir, thank you very much. The manager will say, here we are, I hand over this gentleman, let him explain to you how he got this money, or this lady, let her explain to you how she got this money. This is a reality. This happens in those countries, in Europe. It is not a lie. I want to give you a short story, Sharon, under the panel. In 1989, I went to Nationwide Building Society in London on Thornton Heath, in Thornton Heath town, near Croydon. I had received a check of 12,000 pounds. It was written to me by my friend called Bob Opio, another Ugandan, who was an estate agent. We sold 2 houses. He was an estate agent, so I helped him to sell 2 properties. And I got my commission of 12,000 pounds. And the man said, the money is on account, go and draw. He gave me a check in my names of 12,000 pounds. That was my commission we got out of selling a house in Sutton, a very good house, to another Asian guy who was my friend, connected to me, and I got a commission. I went to the bank and sat down in London. I presented the check for 12,000 to the cashier with the book to stamp in. Those days you have a book to fill, not like now, where you use the computer and the money goes in the machine. The cashier said, David, yes, hold on a minute. Can you go this side? I said, why am I am busy, I am going. I had parked the car on a yellow line. And no, wait, is your car parked properly? I said, yes. But what is the problem? He said, don't leave yet. Let me talk to my boss. The woman went and called the manager, who opened the door for me to go to the manager's office. While inside there, the manager had already called Croydon police station for the police to come. And they said, oh, how are you? What do you do? Yes, I said, I market. I help my friend in Tooting called this agency to market, to get houses, accommodation, to resettle people, refugees who have come from all parts of East Africa. And then we have an estate agent which sells houses. I sold the house. We sold the house and I got my commission. Where is that located? I told them. As we are talking, the police knocked on the door and I came in to the office. They arrested me. They arrested me there and then. They said, can we talk to you for a minute? Plain cloth. They said, oh, how did you get this check? How much? Do you have your ID? Do you have your passport? I have them. Do you have this? I have them. So how was this payment? I am bringing this story for you to say that in the UK, in the United Kingdom, even if you bank it, it goes by the machine and it registers there. The manager will call you first. Even when you send money from here, you must put a reason why you are sending the money. So why these agents came in is because the reasons for 100 million shillings were not explained to a small younger girl who is here. Eventually the police looked at, called that place, called Mr. Opio, checked Mr. Opio. I gave them the numbers. He said he's the one who gave the check, and Dr. David works for me as my marketing sales manager, and I've paid him his commission. And the police said, thank you very much, sorry sir, for the inconveniences. Do you need any coffee? You see, I was given coffee as a matter of disturbance. I'm telling you, Sharon, that is how the entire Europe works. So this man coming to Africa, showing his face on our newspapers, thinking that he can now tell us a story, is stupid. That's my summary. It's very stupid. It shows how stupid we are as Africans. We jump on certain things and support certain things that we don't know. This man in Belgium would be in jail. He would be in jail. He would be in jail or to be investigated. So you don't blame your own agents and weaken your own institution. In short, I'm telling you that your institutions must be stronger. That's why we have got a war in Africa. That's why we got wars in Africa. That's why we have terrorists blowing themselves. You are not blowing yourself alone. You are blowing us. Yet you hate the government. Isn't it, Mama? You hate the government. You come and blow us who don't know. Some of us might also be not liking the government, but we have not blown the government. So violence in Africa is two ways. You, the terrorist who blows yourself up and blow the people, you're a root cause of violence. And the government which uses violence to beat up people, judicial killings, is also a violence caused. That's why you see a country like Ethiopia collapsing to chaos. We have this type of double standards, Sharon. That is, I don't know whether you have picked something out of that.
Yeah, and I think I actually mentioned when I was giving my submission, I think the problem with this person, with this man in this case, is that probably he was not able to declare the source of the money. And I actually remember, I think I actually have a similar story to what you've just given with, our banks here in Kenya. I think some years back when I was actually, doing some business, and some money was actually transacted in my account. That was, more than $1 million. The bank had to call me and actually ask for the source of the money. So when I actually told them it's for this uncertain event that we're actually trying to do, they actually asked for the evidence that there's this event. And luckily, I had an invoice that was stated. But even once I gave the invoice, they had to actually contact the company that had given us that kind of money, to ask them if it's true that there's this kind of money. So I think even in Kenya, our banks have such policies where they will actually ask you to provide evidence for any money that is actually deposited in your bank account.
Thank you very much. As we wrap up the Good Morning Africa and the politics, we have how many minutes? It's already top of the hour, which is 11 minutes, 3 minutes past 11. We shall just devote 6 minutes, but we look at prison diary, the badge of dishonor, banks reap big from forex trade. Interpol is doing an election tomorrow or Thursday. All Interpol chiefs, including the Kenyan Interpol head, who heads the Interpol section, they are in Accra, Ankara, or in Turkey. I don't know which capital they are in. They are meeting. Rudisha is coming back. Those are some of the main headlines. And the Interpol, any of you who might know more about Interpol, do you know more about Interpol? Are you sure that it does the real job? Yes. But today their meeting takes place this week. They will elect the head of Interpol on Thursday. And 2 countries have put their candidates forward. That is China, of all countries. China and United Arab Emirates. What do you think about those, Wesonga?
Yes, I think that is a very, very great development, and especially on the matter of Interpol, in that we have been seeing a lot of global terror-related activities, and that calls for more vigilance of all security agencies across the continent. And I believe Interpol has been a very integral part in fighting not only global terror, but also even financial malpractices, like what we have been just discussing about. So I think that is an agency that should be strengthened to be able to fight such evils that are there in the society. So to me, I think that will be something out to watch. And of course, we have expectations that we're going to be seeing some improvements in the case of how they tackle international related crimes, both internationally and also even locally.
Thank you very much. Tawish, as we summarize.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. I think Interpol being an international police unit is very, very essential. It's a very good component, rather, when it comes to fighting international crime. And it is it really works in the sense of ensuring that they work with other anti-crime agencies, especially the DCI, the intelligence of the respective countries, to see to it how we can be able to curb or rather reduce or eliminate international crime amidst us. And I think with the election you're talking about, I think it is very, very critical that we get people who can work seamlessly, people who can work together in terms of ensuring that there's not going to be any compromise, because this is the only unit that really covers the entire globe. It does not have boundary within which it's supposed to operate, and therefore its organization and its of course head of operation must be that which cannot be compromised, one which is of high integrity and competence, and one which can be relied by entire, of course, globe, if not the member states that form the international police. I submit, Dr. Ari.
Sharon, take us away on this topic.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And indeed, I think it's also quite a good and remarkable thing, given at the end of the day, the end goal is to actually fight crime internationally. And this is actually coming at a time where we have had so many, and, most of African countries actually having pronounced the rise of, attacks. And just like we're actually talking right now about, the issue of, the proceeds of crime, talk about terrorism. So, having such concerted effort is actually going to, curb, the rise of crime globally in one way or another. So for me, I think this is quite, a remarkable thing.
A remarkable day indeed. Thank you very much. A remarkable day. Interpol does a great job, but Interpol is going in the hands of China or United Arab Emirates. What do you say? Call us a comment. One. Just what do you think? There are only two candidates so far. What do you think, Sharon?
Well, when you talk about China, I think that is quite a whole different ballgame, given that, they're actually one of the major players in, some of these issues that we're actually, facing right now, especially when you talk about even the, global, and, climate change. So I have now, when you talk about China, I think now I'm getting quite some mixed reaction, given that these are people that, are actually the problems. So if they are the problems, how are they, really going to, really save us? But it's a wait and see issue, if I can say.
I wish China, United Arab Emirates, they are the springboard. We might get a candidate from one of those to head Interpol. Surely, when in China you don't have police, they have a bullet. Any comment, Tawish?
Yes, Dr. Matsanga, maybe I might come in. So I think when you talk about China and United Arab Emirates being the main candidates in matters Interpol, it's like taking a hyena to be a representative of the sheep. These two countries do not have any common maybe interest or maybe know-how when it comes to whatever Interpol does. If it were maybe, let's say UK or maybe the US or even any other European or Western countries, then it will be understandable. Or even African countries. I believe Kenya strategically in matters security has been a very, very pivotal as opposed to China. We've never had China's efforts even in matters of combating global terror. We've never had China's role in even combating illicit business in drugs and all other, even human trafficking. So is United Arab Emirates. It has never pronounced itself when it comes even to global terror. In fact, it has been one of the few countries which has been adversely mentioned in financing terror and other illegal enterprises that are in the world, including even drug trafficking and all that. So to me, I think they're not even, it is very unimaginable that we're going to be having candidates coming from those particular countries, Dr. Matsanga.
Okay. Thank you very much, viewers. That brings us to the end of our Good Morning Africa and a Good Morning show, where we touched on Kenyan newspapers headlines. And now we wait on the top of the hour already. We are about 12 minutes away at exactly 20 minutes, 15 minutes, in 3 minutes time, we shall come back with devolution, the People's Court. Let's take a briefer 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we tell the studios to bring us something to keep us going, and we come up next show. Devolution in Kenya. Can devolution work without evolution? Listen to my commentary and then we discuss. fellow Africans, since 1957, when Ghana gained independence, there has been quite a lot of political, social, economic indicators on the African continent that show that Africa has progressed from pre-independence Africa to post-independence Africa.
Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
66 years down the road, Africa finds itself with the first country, Ghana, having gained independence. We find